welcome to the Golden Hour. I am Golden Duffy, your host. For the next hour, we are going to be diving into universal law so that you can understand it at a whole new level. When you understand and you apply these principles to your life becomes something more. You educate yourself, you have the knowledge, you have the wisdom to carry out the most optimal energies to create the life that you absolutely love. That's what I'm all about. I want to share this energy with you. I want to share this transcendence of energy that allows you to become more, that allows you to be joyful, that allows you to be lighthearted and to feel into the lighter energies of life instead of letting life take you down. I say this all the time, life is relentless. We have plenty of reasons to be upset. We have plenty of reasons to be serious. But at the end of the day, what does it all mean? What is the point? And you may ask yourself that often. And to me, the point of life is joy. It's experience. It's exponential. It's seeing how I can master the energy field in a way that allows me to make the world a better place, make my world a better place, which in turn makes everyone's world a better place. So I am here today to assist you on this incredible journey that we call life, to help you grab the preciousness of it and to not take it for granted. I have a new M21 challenge that is coming up. M21 Revolution is on Facebook. Let me just show you the little thing here. You can ask to join. It is a free group. There are tons of guided meditations. There are tons of videos on there about universal law. I do this with my partner, Jessica Mkowski. She's a yogi. She's a triathlete. She's absolutely amazing. For the next 21 days, beginning August 1st, we are going to set on a challenge to help us quiet our minds every day for 21 days. And I pulled in some gratitude on that as well. We're going to do a little gratitude exchange to up-level the field even more. So if you are part of this group, the next 21 days will exponentially change your life, and you really need to be a part of this. So it's a free group. It's donation-based, and the donation is a $50 suggestion. But if you don't have the $50, we still want you. We just need a little exchange of energy for everything that we put forth. We get downloads. I post every day. We do videos together. The energy in there is incredible. The community itself is amazing. It's been alive for 6 years, and we put out these challenges every once in a while now to up-level your life experience. All right, moving on. We got a lot to cover today, you guys, so I'm gonna hide that. If you're looking for a gratitude journal, gratitude is the highest frequency that you can have. So if you're looking for a really cool journal, I am journaling gratitude every single night right now with my husband. And it's really, I woke up today feeling really good. Doesn't always happen, especially with health things and backaches and all that stuff. Mindful manifestation, daily guide, secrets journal. You will love this. If you email me at livelifegolden@gmail right now, I'm sending them out for $21 signed and with a personalized message, includes shipping. So you'll get them a lot sooner than Amazon, I think. But this would be a great practice, even if you don't become part of M21. Okay, let's go. The 12 laws that govern the universe. So I have another show where I did the 7 laws of prosperity. This is just going to be the straight up 12 laws that govern the universe and how you can apply them more effectively to your life experience so that you can start becoming a more powerful manifester. Okay. Number 1, the law of divine oneness. So this is everything is built on this law. We are all connected through creation, and every single atom inside of you is connected to everything else in the universe. So the idea of this is everything is energy. We are all connected to energy. And that's why this conversation is so important, because our energy affects the whole world, the whole collective. The other piece of this that gets really deeply spiritual, and if you have a religion that doesn't tell you this, just take it in, just see how it feels. If it doesn't feel good, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Just consider this. that we are part of, that we are an extension of the energy of all that is God, source, universe, whatever you like to call it. We are not separate. And I think some of the religions have done us a great disservice in getting us to believe that we're separate, that we have to pray to some being that has control over our lives. And the truth is, we have the power in our lives, and our lives are an expression of that energy, being, whatever you like to call it. So because of that, we have a co-creative partnership. And if you understand that, your meditation practice, your quieting your mind practice, your spending time in that higher level mind, that higher level of consciousness will connect you to this truth even more. I got downloads on this. I know this is true. This is true for me. This is what I believe. So spending time in that higher mind, 15, 20, 30 minutes a day. Sometimes I do 2 times because it feels so good. It becomes bliss when you train that mind. Number 2, the law of vibration. I love vibration. So to understand vibration, I mean, it's pretty easy to understand vibration, right? Like something vibrates, like your phone vibrates and you feel the energy of it, right? So for us, our vibration, our energetic output is considered a vibration. We are sending out vibrations in the world. Just like this wave behind me, our energy goes out. And because our energy goes out, it is felt. And because it is felt, and it is felt with everything and anyone. So you may think, you're talking behind somebody's back and they don't know what you're saying, but the truth is they can feel it. Because energy transcends. Energy is sent out and energy is felt. This is why I've been able to do energy work from thousands of miles away with someone over the phone, because I can feel energy. It doesn't matter how far away it is. Everything has a frequency and a vibration. And this piece of this is really, really imperative for you to understand that everything you watch, everything you eat, everything you observe, everything you take in, everything you say, everything you feel, everything you believe has a vibration. And if you are taking in a lot of negativity, a lot of drama, a lot of dark energies on TV, the news, if you're taking in that vibration, you're going to be lowering your vibration throughout the day. And you're not going to be in the higher vibrational energies where you have more power over your life. Items of a similar vibration are attracted to one or another in the same frequency. So the way that I like to describe this is it's like we're all on a board, right? We're all a light on a board. And as we think and as we feel and as we talk, we light up certain areas of that board. And then things that are like that light up on the board as well and come to us. Yeah, that's law of attraction. That's law of vibration at its deepest, is to understand everything that's coming to you. Yes, you are attracting, but it's really your response that determines. And this is why your response determines where you're actually vibrating at, because we have past momentum. So if you're looking to change, if you've been looking to make some changes in your life and you feel like things are still happening that are not good, like let's say you're trying to become more abundant and you keep attracting unexpected bills or things breaking. You need a little bit of time because the energetic field needs time to catch up with the physical field. So you need a little bit of time to change your energy before the physical changes. So if you keep getting unexpected bills, you have to start responding to them differently to change the energy field. So that's law of vibration. If you are getting a lot of cranky, dramatic people in your life, check in, baby. Like check in with how you feel, because how you feel determines what's coming to you. So if you've got a lot of drama, if you're really frustrated, if you're aggravated all the time, those are the things that are going to come to you and create more of that, because like attracts like. Think also of it as a radio station. We're dialing in all the time. What music are we listening to? The music we're listening to is based on the attention we are giving to our outside world. So if we're tuning into negative conversations, if we're talking behind people's backs, gossiping a lot, if we're just mad all the time, right? That station is going to tune you into. That's why I have an issue with music that's super angry. I went to a concert this weekend and I ended up leaving. It was a reggae concert too, but I ended up leaving because the music got really dark and really angry and really intense. It's vibration. So if you take that music in and you really love the angry, adrenaline driving music, you're tuning yourself into a lower frequency and you're going to be susceptible to a lot of things on a lower frequency that create more anger within you. Trust me, this is true. And I've seen it across the board with people. And I know you may think that it feels good, but the truth is you're really just addicted to adrenaline. And who wants to be addicted to that? Because adrenaline in your system that keeps dropping drops cortisol, it drops stress, it drops weight in your belly. It's really not that healthy for you. So I would highly recommend that you let go of music that's driving that anger and frustration. And I know there's a lot of younger men, actually men in general, and even some women that I've come across that really enjoy this music, and they do it at the gym because it pumps them up and it makes them like, really intense. And there's a price that's being paid for this. There's a price. And I've seen people fighting at the gym. I've seen issues with relatives. So there is a price that you're paying by allowing yourself to be addicted to this type of low vibrational energy. Look it up, like Google it if you don't believe me. There is vibration in music. Some of the rap music is some of the lowest vibration on the planet. Seriously, that death metal, that really raging, hardcore music, super low vibration. All right, number 3, law of correspondence is one of my favorite laws because it's so easy to understand. Law of correspondence, it's like you're writing a letter to the universe, telling the universe what you want. Correspondence, you are corresponding with the universe. What you send out is what you get back. So you send out a bunch of gratitude, you send out a bunch of appreciation and love, you're getting that back, like tenfold getting that back. Gratitude, appreciation, and love are the highest energies we can be in. So the more we're in those energies, the less we're going to be in the lower energies, and the more life is going to give us reasons to be satisfied, to be appreciated, to be appreciating. It's important to get in touch with your lower feel, like the underlying feelings. So this is why positive mantras and positive thinking don't work. I've heard so many people say, "Oh, I'm trying to be positive." Okay, you either are or you're not. It's not a try. If you're trying to be positive, you've got some stuff underneath that is potentially going to be susceptible to triggers, which means people are going to be able to push your buttons. It's like having buttons out there that people can push. If you notice that you have moments where you've lost control over your emotional field, that's what a trigger is, and that's to be paid attention to because it's an invitation to look at something that needs to be healed. Super important, it's a big piece of this for you to understand is that we are on this journey to heal. We are on this journey to expand and grow. And when less than optimal things come that really give us a very strong, intense emotional feeling, it's time to look within. It's time to start asking yourself some questions because we don't want to write a letter to the universe. I see this a lot. We don't want to be writing a letter to the universe that says nobody likes me. We don't want to be sending a letter to the universe that's full of rejection or abandonment. And many of us have rejection, abandonment, bullying in our past. So we've got to clean those things up so that our new relationships don't keep reflecting that to us. That is which is, okay, so let me see. Sorry. Okay, number 4, law of attraction. Here we go. Law of attraction. One of the greatest laws in the universe that conducts negatively or positively. It's based on momentum. It's based on you, your state, your mood, how you're feeling, how you're thinking, how you're believing. That is what law of attraction is based on. It is the signal that you are sending. A while back, I did a show with Dr. Josh Sharp, and we talked about the signal that we send to our health, to our bodies. If you are super afraid of things like disease or cancer, or you're stressed a lot, you're in fear a lot, you are driving the chemicals that make your cells go haywire. So you could literally give yourself cancer. Read the book by Anita Moorjani, Dying to Be Me. She talks all about that. So the signal we're sending actually determines what we're going to get. Only 1% of things is genetic, you guys. And the rest of it is because we believe we're going to get it because our relatives got it. All right, law of attraction. This is the law of the mirror. It's the mirror of your self-worth and your mindset. Your life is reflecting how you really feel inside. So if you've got a bunch of rejection going on, if you've got a bunch of people that are just beating you up, bullying you, it's all about your self-worth. Because this is the other piece of this. What you are tolerating, the boundaries that you have in your life say a lot. So a lot of the times that I've gotten mad in relationships and I'm like, well, this person is doing this to me, I realize now I am allowing it. So it's not their fault. They're doing what they're doing based on their wounds, based on, what they've experienced, and based on what we're taking from them. So in order for us to not be bullied, to not tolerate, disrespect, it's when we put up that boundary and we know who we are, we know we are worthy of more, that will create that, and the world will reflect that to us. So law of attraction says that which is like itself is drawn. You get what you think about. Thoughts become things. The cool thing about this is every thought does not manifest. So you have a thought, you have 16 seconds to change that thought. If you don't, you're going to have another thought like it and another thought like it. When it gets to 68 seconds, that's when emotion is triggered. When emotion is triggered, that's energy in motion. That's the wave, baby. And then you're going to get evidence of it. Number 5, law of inspired action. Taking physical steps towards what you want to create is activating energy. This is probably the greatest step that people miss, the greatest law that people miss, because they sit around and they wait. And guess what waiting is? Like, think about it. Waiting is heavy. Waiting is dense. Waiting is sitting here, right? It's not the same thing as allowing. I'm going to talk about the difference between waiting and allowing in a second. But waiting is putting up a really low, slow, dense energy. It's usually confusion. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. It's not listening to your intuition, because your intuition is life force. Your intuition is always bringing you along. Your intuition is always prompting you to the next step. Remember, the law of divine oneness wants to be expressed through you. Life wants to be expressed through you. One thing that I've noticed when I go to live shows, live concerts, and people just sit there and they don't get up and dance. Now, whatever, to each his own. To me, dancing is life force. It's being connected with music, vibration, life, energy, right? So what are we doing? We're just sitting around, just like whatever, not really being present, being on our phones. Man, I saw some people on their phones at this concert, and I was like, really? Can you do that at home? Did you not spend enough hours on that thing? Jeez Louise, guys. Wow. Okay. All right. No judgment. Seriously, no judgment. We all have our issues. We all have our addictions, but let's get more aware. Let's get more present. Let's be more alive together. So inspired action means you are a practice, you have a meditation practice, you're quieting your mind. And that quieting your mind practice does so much more than you think than when you're just sitting there. It bleeds out through your whole day. And what it does is it turns up the volume of your intuition so you can listen and you can act on that more. You can get past fears. You can do the things. You can research, you can be in the energy of all that is. That's what inspired action is. And it activates energy and it actually speeds up this wave and it speeds up things towards your dreams. When we were moving from Connecticut to California, we waited, baby, 4 years. I waited to do this, hoping, wishing, praying, activating with what I could through visualization. We actually came out and visited California and nothing lined up until we booked plane tickets and started selling everything we owned. That's when the universe went, okay, they're serious, let's go. And things started to line up, miracles in different situations. Did we have to walk through a lot of fear? Heck yeah, we walked through a lot of fear. But was it worth it? Hell yeah, super worth it. We are now 8 years past that situation, past our big manifestation, and we are living. I love where I live. I absolutely love where I live. All right. 6, one of my favorite, most technical laws is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. I love this law because it makes me sound smart, but also because it tells you that energy is always moving, and even the smallest action can have a profound effect. So doing a little bit every day going towards your dreams creates a big effect, right? Pay attention to that, because if you're doing a little bit of something, a couple things happen when you do a little bit of something. First of all, you don't beat yourself up for not doing something, right? That lowers your vibration. Self-critical, self-hatred, beating yourself up, total waste of energy, will always drop your vibration and is an invitation to heal something within you. The other piece of that is doing small things activates energy and makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you're doing something. Okay, I did something today. I feel good about actually putting some energy towards my dream. Often, when it comes to manifesting, it's just a millimeter shift that we need. Doing those small things for upliftment, shifting our mindset just a little bit creates a huge turn in the energy field. Because if you've been blocking it for a long time, if you've felt like you're stuck for a long time, by the way, the only way that you're ever stuck is because you believe you're stuck and because you put all this stuck energy in your field, your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs. I can't, I feel in bondage, I feel imprisoned. That blocks the energy field. So when you have a little millimeter shift where you say something like, well, how can I? And what can I do right now? That millimeter shift blows out the stuck energy and allows a flow. Plus, it activates the universe into action and into your partnership, because it says, yes, I'm serious. Yes, I'm ready. Yes, I'm willing to do what it takes to do something new and exciting. And I'm serious. I'm serious. Like, the universe doesn't know you're serious. These are wishy-washy thoughts if you don't have anything behind them. They're just hoping and wishing. And hoping and wishing is a very small conduction. It's actually very much rooted in lack and misery, because you're just like, oh, I want it so bad and I can't have it, but I want it so bad, right? Okay, law of cause and effect. This is the law of karma. So this is one of the reasons, the major reasons, that you want to behave as a person. You want to be good to people. You want to be kind to people. You want to do good things in the world because of the law of karma. Because what you send out is what you get back. Remember that. And karma is, and this is another reason why you don't want to spend a lot of time in revenge or resentment or wishing people bad things, because the law of karma is always going to take care of it. It's always going to take care of it. I've seen it in my life so many times, those bullies and those people that wronged me, they always paid for it. They always absolutely paid for what they did. So any action causes a reaction to come back to you. So any action causes a reaction. So think about that. Be a little more present to the world around you. Be a little kinder. Be a little more respectful of those around you. I see a lot of people in their own little worlds. And I'm going to blame, I love to blame things. I'm going to blame this. I'm going to blame this phone, because when we are on this, think about it, we are just hyper focused and hyper centered in a world that has nothing to do with our actual world. Yes, virtual relationships are great. Yes, virtual businesses are great. Yes, this is great for connection, but it ain't real. These aren't real connections that we are making. It's really the in-person thing that really bonds us and really connects us. And I think this false sense of connection is actually something that we are being asked to override right now. Get out of our houses more, get together with people more, do more things, be in more community, because that part of our world really needs up-leveling. I really believe that. Number 8, the law of compensation. I also really love this law. Geez, I think I might love them all. But the law of compensation says that you can trust 100,000%. You can trust that whatever you put out in the world will come back to you. So we're always like nickel and diming people. We're always like, well, I paid for this. And I mean, I don't do this, but people do this. I paid for this, so you owe me, or I did this for you, so you owe me. And the truth is, the law of compensation says you will always be compensated. So if you do something and you don't feel like it was received, and you don't feel like it was appreciated, right? Well, that's something to look at, right? That's something to look at, because there might be some boundaries there. You might be overstepping. You might be overgiving. You might be looking for love from lack, right? But the law of compensation says that you should trust that it's coming back to you. That's coming back to you in really good ways. And I don't know why this is popping into my head, but it makes me think of like the shows where they redo people's houses who do wonderful things in the world, or you just see people like gifted amazing things because of what they have done in the world. And it doesn't exactly match. These things are like, they don't necessarily get paid for their direct activities, but in some way, shape, or form, they are compensated in the universe, because energy is never wasted and energy is always moving. Now, if you're doing things to get things, that's a different energy, right? If you're being kind because you want other people to be kind, if you're loving because you want to be loved, those are different energies. You are giving to get. This idea of giving and loving and being generous is about the energy of that and how that makes you feel. You don't need to be compensated, but you will be. If you need to be compensated and you're doing this tit for tat and tallying all the time, you're not really giving to give. You're giving to get. All right. Love the law of compensation. Now, being open to receiving it is really important, because I see this a lot where people are given compliments, or people try to treat them, or, and they reject it. Oh, no, you can't take care of me. I take care of myself, right? That's an ego thing. That's a pride thing. That's a not wanting to be a burden to people thing. It's not good. That's not a good energy. We have to receive. When people give us compliments, we need to say thank you. We need to say thank you, because first of all, when someone's giving you a compliment, I just started recently complimenting people more, because I always have these thoughts in my head and I keep them to myself, and that's really dumb. So I just decided recently that I was going to start just shouting them out, just telling people. Do people always receive them? No, because people are not always open to receive. I saw a girl the other day walking on the PCH, and she looked beautiful. She had this beautiful green dress on, and I rolled down my window and I said, "You look really beautiful today." And God, did that feel good. And it definitely lit her up. And my husband's like, "You just made her day." And what's going to happen with that? She's going to replace those thoughts in her head with better thoughts. That's what we do when we compliment people. So don't keep those compliments to yourself. Please share them. And if people don't receive them, don't take that personally. That's more about them than you. But that energy of receiving, of allowing people to take care of you, of allowing people to treat you, of saying thank you, of being excited when people give you gifts, being able to receive is a huge part of the law of compensation. If you can't receive, what's going to end up happening is you're going to give so much that you're going to deplete yourself. And that is not a good place to be, because you'll end up resentful. You'll end up with nothing left to give. So you really want to have a balance of receiving and giving. All right. For all that you contribute, understand that money comes from an infinite source. I want to talk about money for just a second. Money comes from an infinite source. And what that means is your money doesn't come from your job. Your money comes from the universe, from God, from the energy of abundance. So when you open yourself up to receive more and you just don't finite, I can only make this much because this is all my job pays me, you're going to open up your world to new things, to people possibly giving you money, to an inheritance, to a lottery win. So keep your eyes open for possibilities to bring in the energy of abundance, and more money will come. Okay, it doesn't need to be so constricted. Money is an energy that comes to you based on the way you feel about it. And you are compensated for the way you feel, right? So if you're feeling resentful, you're feeling empty, you're feeling like everybody always takes from you, that doesn't align with abundance. So you have to shift that. You got to heal that. You got to work on that. All right. Law of relativity. Okay, here you go. You ready for this one? Everything is a spectrum of expression, and there is more than one perspective on any situation or challenge. I love this. I love this so much, because this is about gaining new perspectives and giving new meanings. If you can give new meanings to things that happen to you in life, you win, because things change based on the way we feel, think, and believe about them. So if something happens to you and it's less than optimal, and you usually like freak out, right? Like you freak out in stress, you freak out, you're like, go immediately to anxiety. What you're doing is you're wrapping that situation around things not working out for you. That's what it is. That's what stress is. That's what anxiety is. That's what fear is. It's not believing that things are going to work out for you. So if instead you took a breath, you took a step back, and you said, something good is going to come from this. Something great is going to come from this. This is part of my expansion and growth. That's a huge place that I've gone lately, is just understanding that I can trust in the universe. I can trust in my life, because what's coming to me is what I need, right? It's what I need to happen. So if there is something where there's a rejection in my life, like something I'm rejected for, my daughter always tells me this, Mom, rejection is protection. It wasn't meant for you. It wasn't meant for you. It wasn't going to be the best for you. So understanding that law of relativity is everything is subject to your judgment, the meaning, and the perspective you give it. So if you change the meaning, you change what happens. If you change your response, you change what happens next. I feel so powerful in this law because I have intelligence and wisdom and space. I have enough space to pull back from something, and I'm not perfect. There are times when I am triggered, but I have enough space to back up from something and to create new meanings about it. The other day, I got into it with someone in my house about laundry and how they don't want me doing their laundry. But however, they leave their laundry in my laundry space, which is right off of my kitchen. So we got into it a little bit. I got a little bit triggered, gave myself a few minutes, talked to my husband, started to bring myself to a different place and a different meaning. Oh, she's feeling this way because she's got this going on. And it doesn't mean we excuse yucky behavior or people yelling at us. It doesn't mean we excuse that. But when you infuse compassion, kindness, and love, it changes everything. And I walked into her room and she immediately apologized and we hugged and we felt a deeper connection. So that's the power that we have to promote meaning. Now, if you have meanings that go with your relationships and you are constantly being triggered to rejection, feeling left out, abandonment, all of that stuff, then you've got to work on that because your relationships are going to reflect that to you. And remember, you're the one placing the meaning. I always say, I love Don Miguel Ruiz, the 4 agreements. Take nothing personally. I take nothing personally, which means I don't pull drama in. No drama necessary is my tagline. I don't bring drama into situations because I don't make up a story that's dramatic, right? We don't need to make up a story that's dramatic. We can make up any story we want, right? And because of that, we get to predict the ending. We get to predict what happens next. All right, number 10, law of polarity. Everything in the universe has a polar opposite. So when there's an up, there's a down. When there's a light, there's a dark. It helps us to gain clarity on what we actually do want. So this law is in direct connection to contrast, which means when we have a bunch of rainy days, we have more capacity for joy in the sunny days. I'm telling you, the summer right now in California, I'm on top of the world and it's hot. It's hot, but I love it because I was just in a lot of cold and a lot of chilly. So the hot doesn't feel so bad to me. I'm actually quite loving it. Now, a lot of people don't do that. They go right from the cold, wishing it was going to be warm, to it's too hot, complaining they're never happy. Right? But we have the ability to do that. We have the ability to feel and know gratitude. I was talking to my daughter. We went on a little nature walk yesterday, and we have these trees here called jacarandas, and they are so beautiful. They are like my most favorite purple color in the universe is a jacaranda. And my daughter was saying she shared that with some friends, and she was like, "Oh, those trees are so beautiful." And they said, "Yeah, they just make a mess on our cars." That's the meaning that they give to it. So they miss the whole beauty of the tree. So that's what you do in life when you go towards complaining versus gratitude. You miss the beauty. You miss the higher vibrations. You missed the higher frequencies. So start noticing what is good. Start paying attention to what is good about the sun, what is good about the heat. The fact that we can sit outside and eat dinner every night. Oh man, do I love that. We sit out there, we have all these hummingbird feeders and we have all these bird feeders. My husband just got a bird buddy where we can actually, there's a video in this bird house. It's hilarious. So he gets to watch the birds eat and it tells you what the name of the bird is. It's so cool. But we have these hummingbird feeders. So at night, the hummingbirds go crazy and they're just chasing each other around. And we just sit there and we bask in dinner conversation and bird antics. It's amazing. So that's being present to life. That's enjoying life. That's deciding that the outside temperature could be something really enjoyed no matter what it is. And I know some of you out there right now are like in Arizona and Vegas where it's like 125 degrees. So I understand. I've been in that heat but so thankful for air conditioning in a situation like that. So thankful for swimming pools and lakes and things that you can do to cool off. And it'll give you a greater capacity for those days in the fall that are beautiful. Greater capacity for joy in the winter, right? Okay, so it helps us to gain clarity on what we want because when we know what we don't want very strongly, we know what we do want. So if you've got a lot of contrast in your life, which is challenge, which is issues, which is problems, we like to call them. I like to call it contrast because contrast is helping us to clarify what we like by showing us what we don't like. So it's an opportunity for us to tune into the things that we actually like, right? How do you tune into the things that you actually like if you don't know what you don't like? It's like if you had the most beautiful day forever, you would start to take it for granted. You wouldn't feel as much joy around it than if it rained for a week and then all of a sudden you had sun. Same with your health. When you're sick, when you got a head cold and you get healthy, or when you hurt your back and now your back's feeling great, wow, it's It's never felt so good to walk. It's never felt so good to breathe. It's never felt so good to feel vitality and to feel health again after you had that type of sickness. If you talk to anyone who's had like a real serious illness like cancer or anything like that, they will tell you that it changed their life in incredible ways because they let the small stuff go. The small stuff doesn't matter anymore. It's changed their perspective on life and the preciousness of it. Law of polarity. All right, number 10, law of perpetual motion. Everything is always changing, right? Never stuck, always changing. Law of perpetual motion. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride because each moment in your life has a tremendous gift attached to it. Even the yucky stuff, even the stuff that you label as negative, even the stuff you label as terrible, those things are promoting a different thing for you. They are allowing you to gain clarity and to take more control over your life, allowing you to clean up the things that are not working for you. I realized through this little part of, not feeling well, having some back issues, dropping a water bottle on my foot, I really love walking. I really love walking and not being in pain. And I think I just recently got back to walking because of my back. So my exercise consisted more of weight training, running, just working at it every day, checking it off my to-do list to, okay, I need to slow down. I need to walk. I need to help my back to readjust, and I need to be a little gentler with myself. Those are the messages of the universe. Whenever you have something going on and you suddenly need to slow down, you suddenly need to kick back all of the activity, that is the universe's way of letting you just start to chill a little bit more, to start to be a little slower, to start to be a little more present. And then when you get back at it, you get at it in a different energy field because it's kind of been a thing you got to do every day. Got to get up. I got to work out, right? Where's the joy in that? Well, the fact that I've had to take a couple weeks off from the gym, I can tell you I'm very excited to get back there. And I can tell you that I'm going to feel really, really good when I do. And my capacity for feeling good won't be lost on me like it was starting to get, right? Like I was starting to get a little bit bored there. So we mixed it up. And now when I go back, it's going to feel different. And I'm doing things that are more beneficial, like yoga, stretching, paying attention to my body, getting some massages, and feeling better. All right. The 12th law is the law of giving and receiving. Giving and receiving. In order to create flow, you need to be in balance. So I want you to take a look at your life and I want you to look at how much you've been giving and how much you've been receiving. If you keep giving and not receiving, you are going to have an imbalance that is going to burn you out. This is what happens a lot of times with caregivers, especially if you're a caregiver who's taking care of your older parents, your elderly parents. Maybe you're living with them. Maybe you're their sole outside source of care. That anxiety, that worry, that concern, that stress. First of all, don't send that to them. This is an important part of their stage of life. Yeah, they have to go through this. They have to go through what they're going through. And there are great lessons and expansion and growth in it for you. So when you look at that situation and you say that, you can receive the gifts that are involved in it. There are gifts. You just have to look for them. If you are out of balance and you are not in tune with the flow of life, which means you got to give, you got to give, you got to give. I think the basis of that overgiving stuff, at least for me, was the fact that I felt like I needed love from people. And I felt like the only way people were going to love me is if I gave. And if I gave, and if I gave. And because of that, I had relationships end. Like really, really important relationships ended for me because I was so out of balance that I ended up having somewhat of a mental breakdown, we'll just call it. And that mental breakdown caused me to sever relationships that may have been salvageable. I don't know. But because I got myself in such a state of resentment and my nervous system was so taxed that felt like the only way. So pay attention to that, because we don't want to sever important relationships. We don't want to sever, love. We don't want to sever love. So love yourself enough that you don't do things to try to get love from other people, because that trying to get love from other people, it's a losing game, because you're always going to be trying to fill yourself up with a love it's I'm not going to say it's incomplete, because I did this for a long time with my husband, where I just looked to him for love all the time, and he often came up short because he was taking care of our family and it was never enough for me. So until I started my meditation practice, until I started my spiritual journey and started to get to know me and love me, that's when I started to really heal that brokenness, heal those wounds, and become the wholeness that I am today, where I'm not reliant on other people to give me love. And I don't feel the lack. I don't search for the love because I feel lack. I am open to receive love because I am love, and so are you. And you have the ability to do that. So look at your life, look at what's going on, decide if you are out of balance, what you can do to start activating some boundaries, start putting some boundaries in. And look, people are not going to be happy about this. They're not. When we put up boundaries, people are like, they're not used to it. So it may take a little time. It may take a little bit of balancing, and it may take time for you to stand truly in that power. But I'm going to tell you this: when you stand truly in your power and you don't work from guilt, people don't reflect that to you. So they accept the way you are. Also, when you have boundaries and you allow people to start being independent and taking care of themselves, there's this whole like savior syndrome that like, if I don't do this for them, they're not going to have another way. They're not going to be able to figure it out. That's not trusting in their path or their ability to manifest. So you're actually disempowering people when you do that. If you can put yourself in a place of trust, and trust that they can take care of themselves, and trust that the universe will deliver what they need to manifest, it will actually work out better for them than if you're constantly giving to them from a place of emptiness, because that's just creating muck energy in the world. It's creating dense energy. It's creating heavy energy, and it's not allowing us to be the light, the love, and the joy that we really are. So that's the 12 laws of the universe. I still have a little bit of time, so I'm going to actually, I'm going to connect with a few things. I want to just share my Mindful Manifestation Secrets. This is my book on Amazon. It's our story from moving from Connecticut to California, all the things that we manifested along the way, and the exact manifestation process that you can use to follow your dreams. So that is on Amazon. You can find that on Amazon. Okay, cool. All right, so I got a cool manifestation story for you. I'm going to close out with this really cool manifestation story. So so we have 4 daughters. If I've never shared this before, they are 30, 28, 21, and 19. And our 2 older ones, I have one that lives in Connecticut and one that lives in Arizona, and she lives there with our incredible grandbaby, Kinsley, who is now almost... Okay, she's 5. I'm going to keep her 5 right now. She's losing teeth. The whole thing it's happening. Like, she's getting older. So our younger ones live with us, and they're 21 and 19. And, they've had an interesting relationship. They've definitely been a little bit oil and water at times. They've gone through things together that has been very intense. The energy in my house has not always been peaceful. Let's put it that way. So recently, we've been building this little sanctuary. We call our house our sanctuary because we really want to promote peace. We want to promote well-being. My youngest daughter is extremely spiritual, and my third daughter, she is as well. but my younger daughter is a little bit more on the outside. Like she's got crystals. She works in a crystal shop. She's really into astrology. She does little readings. Like she's very connected to earth, to nature, and to her own well-being, but also promoting it in our house, like sharing what's working. She recently just got back to meditating and she went for an energy clearing. And since then, the energy in our house has been even better. Now, my second daughter, she's had some challenges emotionally. I would say the last few years have been really challenging on these girls, going through the end of high school with, our world issues and just finding their place in the world that has really drastically changed. It really has changed, and making connections in a world that drew back from connecting. So yesterday, so they both fell in love with this coffee shop. It's called Organic Greens. They have juices and wheatgrasses and all sorts of healthy stuff. They are also extremely healthy. They are both very health conscious, really into organic food and not putting chemicals in their body. And they're both really in tune to that. So they both decided that they wanted to get jobs there, which was so interesting. And so they both applied. And what does mom say? Okay, so this is how sometimes I go with the wrong thing to say. And I say, I hope one of you is not higher than the other. And my daughter was like, why would you say that? And I'm like, I don't know, because I'm a mom and those are things I think about and worry about, but I want to stop doing that, right? Like interrupt that tendency to worst case scenario. So she says, so yesterday they both went to the coffee shop. They were feeling really good. They had a beach day together. They were, planning this beach day together, and they stopped for coffee. And one of the girls that works there was like, hey, did you guys apply? And they were like, yeah, we put in our applications the other day. And the actual owner was there. And she was like, oh my gosh, like here's these girls and, they want to be hired. And the owner said, let's do this right now. She said, let's do an interview right now. And she sat both of them down. And she said, this is the first time she ever interviewed two people at the same time. She actually thought they were twins, which is so funny. They're 2 years apart and they do look similar. So she had this incredible interview with them. She said she's never done this before. She hired both of them on the spot, and they're both completely ecstatic with the pay, with the energy of the place, with the whole experience. So they came home and told us this, and our whole house was just like elevated from this experience of manifestation. But they both put themselves in a place where they looked for what they wanted. They're both working in jobs that they're not loving right now. And, we talked about it, about finding another job before you let that other job go. And so now they're both putting in their notices at jobs that just don't fit anymore. So this is what happens when we start to raise our vibration, is the things, the people, the experiences, and the circumstances that we were a part of, that we attracted when we are in a lower vibration, may not match anymore. And this is why people may leave your life. Don't take it personally. It's because you're not a match anymore. This is also the reason why people sometimes don't see you. Yeah, because you're not a match. They would see you if you were a match. So it's not to say that you're better than them, but as we elevate our experience, we bring ourselves into a higher vibration. Those who are at a lower vibration either won't come towards us, they won't be in our experience, or they will meet us in our experience in a different way. They will meet us in a way that is more positive, more light-filled, more lighthearted, more laughter, more joy. And they won't be bringing all their problems and their complaining and their issues to us, because we're not a match for that anymore. So pay attention to what's going on in your life, because it's always a match, especially if you are feeling it. The feeling is the frequency. The feeling is the manifestation. So understand, as soon as you have the feeling for your visualizations, for your frustration, for your appreciation, for your aggravation, as soon as you have the feeling is the manifestation. And then the physical is going to show you the evidence. So you really want to check in. You really want to do the things that are going to put you in that higher vibrational field so that you can manifest the best in life. So you can live a life of joy and freedom and really ecstatic things happening to you. Now, life isn't going to be that way all the time, but the truth is, if it can be that way most of the time, then we're doing our job. Then we're doing the best we possibly can in life, and we are creating the best case scenarios to live a life that feels better, to live a life that really reflects that true spirit of who we are, the love, the laughter, the joy, the compassion, the kindness. That's who we all are. And that's what we have an opportunity to bring to the world, into creating a better consciousness, to creating a better world, to creating a life that takes our power back. Stop giving your power away to negativity. Stop watching things and feeding that drama monster, right? It's just like the sugar monster. It lives inside of you. Stop feeding it. If you stop feeding it, it will starve to death. And then it will no longer be relevant in your life. And then when drama comes to you, you can make a decision of whether you're going to tune into it or not. It doesn't mean that we become these like bypassers, and we don't ever feel emotions that are negative. It just means that we are more at choice. And when we become more at choice, we become so powerful. All right, you guys, that's my show for today. Thank you for being with me. I love you all. Check me out on YouTube, Manifest to Live Life Goldyn. I also have a podcast that's got tons of episodes, tons of information to make your life better. Love y'all. Peace.